guys, welcome back to KTV, episode 2 of The Unit.
Or the Uni Plus for you guys with artistic minds. Oh, something else I wanted to point out. Did you get from the first episode that each little unit of the unit circle is 15% of the vote?
I didn't until this episode.
Yeah, I actually didn't get it. Like, every time they get a section, you may notice in the background when they're dancing, you'll see a number come up. So as soon as one comes up, one section is filled out.
So this week we had more of the same. First up we have
Egon, who's in blue, and we have Daewon, who's in white. MADSTOWN, as Sani would say. They came from the agency that I believe Rain started. They went through some legal troubles, and now they have 2 people who are trying out for the show. I don't remember too much in the beginning. I only kind of remember the end of it.
He made a mistake, he reacted to it. Right? A lot of guys make mistakes and they sing on, they pretend nothing happened. I think that's definitely the way you want to do it professionally.
I didn't see anybody make mistakes in the previous episode, so this one really stood out to me. I thought that it's really good that the judges give them another shot. I thought it was pretty good.
They remind me of like just 90s hip-hop crews.
Because they're a boy band and they wanted to show off like K-pop style, wearing these kinds of clothes is not quite right. Now, Daewon got 1 vote. Do you agree with Egon getting an all vote?
Egon is not 6 times better than Daewon. This is how it is. So next up we have
Daya.
주의 Amazing T.R.O.Y 안녕하세요 다야입니다. 주의 Amazing T.R.O.Y 안녕하세요 다야입니다. 주의 Amazing T.R.O.Y 안녕하세요 다야입니다. 주의 Amazing T.R.O.Y 안녕하세요 다야입니다.
Do it amazing. Oh sh**.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Do it amazing, D.I.A.
Do it amazing.
Do it amazing. Do it amazing.
Do it amazing, DIA.
안녕하세요, 다야입니다.
Okay, first of all, I had no idea they were in this thing. I didn't know that Dio is considered a failed group. The fact that I know that that's a thing, for me to see them on the show was kind of surprising.
There's one who has definitely not failed,
Yeah.
and then there's the rest of them. I would potentially call them Cheon and others. So Somi and Yebin did Red Velvet's Happiness. I expected more.
I see where you're coming from. These girls are professionals. They're already in the spotlight right now. This is the performance that they come up with. It doesn't come off as being super polished.
So Somi kind of went off and did her own like weird robot thing. The thing a lot of Koreans like is the 4D personality, the eccentric type of person in the group. If that shows off her personality, I think that's a total plus for her. The singing was not all there. Even though I know Yebin can kind of sing, she can play the guitar, she's talented, but I didn't get to see anything from this audition.
Next up we had
Eui Jin from Sonamoo.
she was rocking
Bubble Pop.
Bubble Pop Pop.
I wonder how many times people thought they should do Bubble Pop just
Yeah,
because
just
Kanto's
because.
there.
So who did it better?
Let me think. Hyuna, of course. I mean, it's so hard to compare to the original. I'm not going to remember Regent's performance at the end of the week, but we all know that she is going to be the girls' center. If you've seen any of the music videos, you know that she's right there in front. We know that she is the focal point of the girls, so I had a lot of expectations. I think that she tried to play the hotness card right now. Next up, there's a little bit of a compilation between Beck% and Boyfriend.
Boyfriend 100%.
How can you get nothing? We get these people who get all votes, so that's all 6 judges vote them through. All of the other members are tossed off.
Seeing these guys perform together and then all of a sudden the judges pick like, oh hey, you're the leader or you're the front, you're the center, you're going through, all your buddies do not. I felt like a lot of these guys didn't get a fair shake.
We've had other groups come before, like Good Day, and they send out several members through. And then here we have like the others. I don't even know their names because they didn't get sent through.
Next up we have
The 3 from Melody Day. Not Good Day, not Girls Day, Melody
Yo man, I'm
Day.
screwed man. I can barely get good day, bad day, now in Melody Day. This is messed up.
So Melody Day is performing Taechi So's Twinkle.
definitely this was a vocal performance, and I felt that all of them were showcased. They all had segments where they're singing. The dancing was at a minimum. The movements were very, I wouldn't say difficult at all.
I thought that they were deserving of a super boot just because it kind of livened up the audience, the atmosphere. They performed really well together.
At the end of the day, you need singers. Now it's whether or not they fit in that kind of pop aspect. Who was this? Next up we had
MVP, who totally screwed up on their first performance.
Now, get it! Right now.
In the second performance, they definitely hit it a lot harder, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to remember the 3 that made it through.
if you can't get people to pay attention to you, then maybe you're not meant to be an entertainer. Okay, so next up we have...
Cartman's worst enemy, Ju.
주? 민주?
We have Ju, J-O-O. Ju was part of JYP before. Kind was part of it when she was part of the Wonder Girls.
It's super sentimental to see Hannah cry and the connection that they had and the fact that they're writing those stories for these people. I felt that was a little unfair. She's super easy to love.
We get to learn that Ju is this ballad singer, or at least was. She wanted to encompass what a K-pop star could be. She actually went into theater in university.
So next up we had
Kanto from T.R.O.Y.
Yeah, and
Kang Min-hee from Miss S.
넌 내 옆에 계속해서 choking 내 우리 가수로 어색해지고 나서 난 널 원해 Hey girl
내일 아침에 소파 위에 시트.
so we had a mixed group for the first time.
The performance was really good. In terms of an audition performance, it didn't feel like one to me. It felt like an actual performance you would see on Music Bank.
I thought killer song choice, male rapping with her singing the melodies and stuff.
Always good.
Killer combination.
He had really good flow. Kang Min-hee was a little more stiff, but she has a really good voice. Up next, we have the useless Ryu Philip.
Mina's boyfriend, is it? Yeah, this is pretty whack. The front end story that goes along with these people, it was more about her than it was about him.
His performance is the song that Lee Seung-gi sang, Because You're My Woman, was Lee Seung-gi's song about loving an older woman. I kind of feel like he may have been like forced into this. People know about them. I know that some people may frown upon it. I don't really care, but like, why play it up?
For a guy who's trying to declare that, hey, I don't want to be known as Mina's boyfriend anymore, he really played up the angle where he's Mina's boyfriend. So,
Yeah. Spoiler alert. See ya.
He did not make the show, so it does not matter.
Yeah.
I didn't think his performance was that bad though. So next up we had
Seol Ha Yoon. I actually have a joke for this. Alright, sorry, just introduce it again.
so next up we have
Hong Jin Young. Seol Ha Yoon.
what's the joke?
The girl that I mentioned, Hong Jin Young, does the exact same thing. She is a trot singer. She's not on the show because she's famous. This girl is trying to fit in the exact same spot. I thought that her performance, her first one, was quite possibly one of the worst that I've seen on the show. To not be able to dance and even lip sync? How can you sing and dance if you can't even lip sync and dance?
Her first performance, she's trying to show off her dancing. She did not do that. What it did show is she did not know how to lip sync. But maybe she doesn't know how to lip sync because she can actually sing.
사랑하지 않아 다른 이유는 없어.
I think that's a big thing. The judges, of course, they give a second chance. She sings I Don't Love You by Urban Zakapa. That's Johanna's group. It's like bubble pop. You're gonna perform it in front of someone. It's gonna be criticized a bit, but if you do it some sort of justice, then I think it really stands out. She stood out when she sang this song. It was really
it was
good.
It was good. It was good. It was definitely good.
So next up, who do we have, Kamala?
We have I Am.
It's not only one guy. I thought all of them were pretty good. Ki-jung in particular, we've seen the music video, we've seen that Ki-jung is at the front line center, but I can really see why now.
They showed off that they can sing, they showed off that they can do hip hop, they can dance, so these guys are definitely the full package. They have a ton of confidence too.
The fact that he's 16 years old in Korea or 15 here is a huge deal. He's young, he's their main vocal.
Yeah.
He is the clear standout in the group. I can see why he is the future center that we'll see.
I know it's really big in Korean culture. Being very young and very skilled and yet still very respectful, it'll take you really far in K-pop culture. So next up we had
Janey from GP Basic. Do they have the same like outfits in the back? Because her and Eui Jin have like
identical.
the same.
That's kind of wacky.
I thought her dancing was okay.
Same, I mean, if you're gonna perform in a song in front of Hannah, you better kill it. I don't think she did. I mean, she performed it, but that's about it. Okay, so next up we had another piano piece.
Yeah, by Shin Ji Hoon.
이제부터 웃음기 사라질 거야.
I thought that she performed really well. Her voice is so good. What else is there to say about really good piano performances? I think that these kind of performances are really good for auditions, but I think that the judges also want to question what else can you do, which is why they made her dance after.
I mean, I commend her for doing it and trying it and not just saying no. She was less ocean and more chicken, man. That was.
I think she's going to struggle when it comes down to choreography. I of course wish her the best. I really like her voice, but singing is one thing, dancing is one thing, putting them together is a whole other thing. I don't get that from her right now, but I'm glad that she made it through.
I really like how when these piano players come out, they play with no shoes. Like at home when you're growing up, you're playing the piano and you have to like take all your piano lessons and stuff, and you play without your shoes on, right? It's very homey. I like it. I like it a lot. It makes her very down to earth. Next up, we had
my second love of the show, Euna Kim.
Oh, what? Euna Kim. Oh, this is no way.
Next up, we have my second love of the show, Euna Kim.
Okay, alright. Tell me all about her performance.
Oh man, okay.
So fanboy.
Not even the performance, there's so much history. So Euna Kim, she was part of this group called the ARC. I know they released at least one song that was super good. It was very vocal, they could dance really well. I think it was choreographed by the same choreographer that you may have seen in Idol School, or the same choreographer who did the first 3 songs from G-Friend. I'm so glad to see her because I think that her vocal tone is amazing. I think that she has amazing stage presence. So singing Blue Moon by Hyodin and Changmo is it's an interesting choice because I feel like that song is very westernized. It has like a very electronic beat and the vocal range behind it is not that high, but she didn't want to show off a vocal range. She wanted to show off her good tone and she wanted to show off her rapping. I love when girls can rap and sing. I know that she has it all vocally, she has a good personality. I really liked how Johanna pointed out that her confidence level is now being able to be seen on stage. So I know that having confidence is such a big thing in this show, and I think it'll make her go far. I can definitely see her in the end. Maybe that's my personal preference. Killa, what did you think of Euna Kim?
I don't think I need to say anything. We'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that. Next up we had
Suji. I think Suji's dancing skills are good, but literally her displacement was 0. She did not move from the same spot at all. She moved her arms, maybe took a step in one way and then took a step back, but that was it.
That being said, it worked because she moved on. I think visually she's there. I think she's
visually she's there.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on Marco and Hot Blood Youths? I felt that was unfair for his group mates not to be showcased. The judges just fingered out Marco and allowed him to do his dancing, which got him through, and I think his dancing was pretty good.
This dude is going for the little brother kind of image. He's going for the cute image.
This episode had a lot of throwaway groups, and this was one of them. Next up, we have
Boys Republic. Nobody stood out for me.
I thought overall it was a pretty decent performance, but I think the song choice was poor because it doesn't really highlight anybody. I think the dance moves aren't necessarily difficult, they're just kind of a lot of timing tricks. As a group, it looks kind of cool, but overall, the dance difficulty isn't necessarily high, and I think that's why the judges didn't really go with all these guys. A lot of these guys got slayed because they just didn't make contact with the judges, which is unfortunate.
I think for a group that has experience on stage, that is such a diss.
So, last but not least, we have the final group, which is
From Adore Enable, Hot Shot.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. I think I like it. 긴장.
Yeah, so now we have Ho Jung and Timoteo. Milan, what are your thoughts on their performance of EXO's Coco Pop?
I think it really played up the relationship with him and the other judge though.
So Timoteo and Taemin have been friends for a long time.
It didn't really show up their vocal skills, but I mean, their confidence was there.
Shirt lift number 1.
Abs too.
Abs too.
Abs too.
If you look at the performance and then think of it after when they make the comments, I forget that he was around.
Yeah.
It's all about Timoteo. Yes, they're both good. Yes, I want them both to stand out. But the whole knowing a judge and the whole history behind that, I think, can really play in their favor. And it only looks good for them. I don't have anything bad to say about that, but it's kind of unfortunate that somebody gets less screen time and less notoriety because of that.
So to recap, who are some of the standouts for you? Who do you think is going to make it really far?
I can't help but really like Euna Kim from today. I think that, she was born in New York and she has that international appeal. I think that another person you have to pay attention to is Sonamoo's Eui Jin, who we know is the center of the girls. Another person who stood out a little bit is Suji. As a visual, I guess. People who look good make it far. That's just how it is.
Totally.
Ki Jun from I.M, obviously because he's the center of the boys. For all the right reasons, I think that he may be one of the most talented right now and has that much more potential to grow.
For me, I really like Suji, I like June. Her personality, her performance, her history with Euna, I think that's all going to take her very far. Her ballad singing is going to be an asset. Out of the guys, Kanto, I want to see more of his performances with her, especially. If they had like an album or something out, I'd probably check that out. But, they don't, right? So, okay.